is how I play the game! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Holy shit! That is an epic fucking intro, dude. And I have to warn everyone. Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
PWDub sent Phil an image of his driver's license, where he self-centered certain sections himself with scribbles of black lines through MS Paint. Censored was his face, the expiry date, street address, and license ID. What Phil then did was post this email to a secret moderator Discord.
Secret moderator Discord? It's literally just a Discord where my moderators talk. It's not secret. It's because we need to talk somewhere about moderation of the streams, right? He's at the secret moderator Discord like it's some kind of a clandestine place. But let me tell you, the secret moderator Discord is really boring. We don't really talk that much in there. When we do, it's usually about the streams. Every once in a while, we're cordial. We talk about each other's lives, but it's just like a bunch of guys hanging out and just saying, hey, what happened on stream today? Can you help me moderate today? Can we do this? Can we do that? It's not a secret Discord. All right? How silly.
That included about 11 other members, remarking, quote, I mean, Jesus. Why are we even at this point? I don't want to card my fucking stream chatters. Unquote. The few moderators that responded shared in this confusing sentiment. But failed posting this license, even though it was somewhat censored through PWDubs, meant that he had doxed him.
Wrong. I didn't dox him. At all. He censored all the information people didn't know. We already knew his name. We already knew his date of birth. He'd already told everyone his birthday, and we knew where he lived. He already had put that information out there on the internet. We already all knew that from his discussions and things in my chat. He sent me the censored license so the information nobody knew would not be put out. You see? This is not a dox at all.
That's just fucked in the head, dude. That's not normal mental behavior.
Apparently, something just happened very bad, is what happened, guys. Apparently something very, very bad just happened. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It literally just happened this moment. The subs are going away. Permanently. Apparently, they kicked me out of the partnership program, and I don't know why.
No one knew it at the time, but Phil's suspension from his Twitch partnership was, according to Phil, because of the massive influx of reports of him using harmful language.
Specifically, Twitch terminated the agreement following its investigation of repeated instances of inappropriate conduct involving hateful slurs.
But if we look at the spreadsheet, between the 22nd of April, which is when he was departnered, and May 6th, when he made the announcement, he already made $5,797 solely from tips.
And again, that's bullshit, because that doesn't factor in people charging back, that doesn't factor in the fees associated with PayPal, currency conversions, and the fact that tips usually are spoken for. Tips go towards, for example, the groceries, buying games, paying certain utility bills,
Not YouTube, not Patreon, just tips.
I'm trying to make it so I hit every tips goal this week to help me coming up with my mortgage, because I don't even know what's going to happen with Twitch. I don't know if they're going to pay me or not for all the work that I did last month after losing my partnership. I'm looking to hit the tips goal every stream now between now and when I have to pay my mortgage in the middle of the month. You don't believe that I cook? My wife cooks. I very rarely cook. My wife cooks. There you go. I have no other income apparently, because it sounds like Twitch isn't going to pay me for last month. I'm going to pay my bills, pay my mortgage and everything, because I'm not going to get that payment I depend on every month. You know, fundraising to pay my mortgage, to pay my back taxes, and the stuff for the rest of the month. As for the mortgage, yes, I hope that things go well, and I can pay my mortgage on Saturday. Please support this marathon stream. I need the help. In particular, I need it for tomorrow. Pay my mortgage, so if you can, please. This is so fucking embarrassing, because, I'm looking at it right now. It's hurting me, man. Do you think I wanted to act like that? Do you think I wanted to do that? If they didn't fuck with my partnership, I never would have had to do this stuff. I only had to do it because they fucked with my income.
Sure.
That was Phil, throughout his marathon stream, petitioning his audience for even more money to cover his bills and mortgage. Which, without the added pressure of the debts he used to have, means that he already had enough at this point with the over $5,000 he raised.
Wrong. See? He's assuming my bills. He doesn't know what my bills are.
By the 14th of May, he made another $5,000. The total between April 22nd and May 14th was $10,252.
And again, that's gross from what you saw come in on stream. That's not constituting fees. That's not constituting, when there's currency conversions and you lose some money on that.
Someone approached Phil with this information, which he dismissed. To make matters more interesting, Phil did end up getting paid the money owed from Twitch and framed this as, quote, just enough to get me through the next week.
Mass addictive Hogan spending.
Unquote. This vagueness will no longer fly. On top of this, Phil admits, even though he claims to be perpetually financially destabilized, he doesn't know or keep track of his finances.
I don't know. I'm not really tracking all this stuff. I'm just not. I'm not gonna track all this financially and see every day what I'm making is ridiculous. You're part of the problem and you're part of the issue and you are gonna be held accountable too. It's just that simple. You're part of it now. You're actually passing around stuff that should not be passed around and you're gonna be in trouble just as well. So...
This event would be known as the bank leaks. Charted, graphed, and described to the best of the user's abilities, the information from the bank leaks was added to the tips tracker as a separate page. Phil's supposed transactions from March 3rd, 2020 to September 17th, 2021, the day the user supposedly accessed Phil's account, are now archived for everyone to see.
Over the last week, it has come to my attention and my knowledge finally that I have... For the record, everything here that I'm saying that he's quoting has nothing to do with these bank leaks. I'm serious. Everything that I'm saying is out of context. Everyone assumed that when I was talking about this on streams it was about these bank leaks. It had nothing to do with these bank leaks whatsoever. I'm going to tell you the full story, the real story, because I can't. But let's go. I have been subject to the crime of identity theft. A federal crime, by the way. I got a notification via email about someone messing around in one of my accounts, which then led me to research it. This is not the bank leaks, okay? This is something else. And find out that, you know, this was happening.
At the same time, Phil gets a notification that someone has stolen his identity right at the same time the bank leaks come out and possibly trigger a failsafe. But due to Phil's own web lies, Phil is walking a very, very thin tightrope. The reason becomes clear why Phil cannot right out admit that someone accessed his bank account. On several occasions, there are transactions that are only labeled as PayPal. Some only labeled Apple iTunes. They happen with such frequency, back to back to back, that it immediately becomes suspicious. And more importantly, they are all the exact same amounts. Several transactions of $11, $16.51, and $110.09. If you deduct the Washington sales tax from...
Hold on, my eyes are burning.
You get a more rounded number. The $110.09 becomes $99.99, and the $11 becomes $9.99. This can be easily correlated with the packages available on WWE Champions.
Yes, it is me. I am down from the rafters.
Admit it. Let's go, brother!
These in the pie charts are labeled as microtransactions and make up around 1/4 in his spendings. In these 18 months, Phil spent around $44,000 on microtransactions. These are not the only purchases, which shows his dysfunctional nature. In September 2020 alone, the month the vest streak ended, he spent $258 on alcohol. These are all reasons why Phil cannot state his bank account was accessed because it would simultaneously prove that he is an alcoholic with a gambling addiction.
Which is, I mean, it's so ridiculous. I've already told people I'm an alcoholic, you know. But anyway.
And that his many emergency streams were only for the sake of raising money for microtransactions. Another layer of this is that Phil, if the bank leaks were fake, could easily disprove them. But the correlation between the bank leaks and his purchases are so tight, it seems he is unable to do so.
Wait. If the bank leaks were fake, he could easily disprove them. How? There's actually no way to prove that the bank leaks are real or fake, because the only way to do that would be to show you my real information, which puts me at risk, and I'm never going to show you that.
It's honestly a wonder that DSP is still around to this day. He's like a relic. He belongs in a museum.
Should I do it?
It's honestly a wonder that DSP is around to this day. He's like a relic in a museum. I mean...
Lolcow is a term that's applied to people that's very negative. Well, hello everyone and welcome. Oh, this wasn't a terrible mistake at all. This is when people saw WWE Champions on my phone. Which, again, is like...
On his phone was a rather familiar looking layout. As was quickly pieced together, Phil was logged into WWE Champions.
Correct.
The game he states he did not play since 2018 because they were a waste of time and money.
Oh, I don't know if I said I didn't play it since 2018, but I definitely had been saying I wasn't playing it. So absolutely, this is still, it's a gotcha moment. Yep.
Time after time, Phil lied about not playing WWE Champions, but was finally caught in this lie. This did have a silver lining. His screen was too far off to make out a name, and so while it's irrefutably confirmed that Phil was actively playing it, Phil was now stating that he was playing it under a different account and that he wasn't the infamous Down from the Rafters. This had reached a state that existing evidence hardly did anything. Most were already convinced that Phil had a mobile gaming addiction, and those unwilling to engage with the evidence were already unreachable in their misplaced trust of Phil, who lives in contradiction.
I guess for some people, honesty is not the best policy. To some people, lie, I guess. I don't know. You have to be a moron. I'm sorry. I mean, how dumb can you be to not understand that being honest about something, right, is the right thing to do? Oh my god, something happened with Jasper. I could completely lie to you guys to try to get sympathy and make money. I'm not gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna be honest and upfront with you. I'm not gonna ever lie to you and tell you things that aren't true, because I'm not that kind of person. But for some people, that's not good enough, I guess.
I work for more
Whatever.
clinic. I
Fuck
came
those
here to
people.
help you.
We know you're spreading the plague.
Phil lies so much, it is hard to know what is fake or fact. His bankruptcy files remain king due to them being legal forms. Then you have lesser evidence like the Discord screenshots or even the bank leaks that could theoretically be faked, but the coordination and dedication would make these chances minuscule. Yet Phil gravitates more towards wild theories himself as a way to represent them and paint the detractor community poorly as a way to also dismiss the valid criticism. And this somewhat works with his fans who have been doxxed, are people with disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely.
Yeah. I think he has autism. And this is coming from someone who has it. Because I've got a low level of autism.
Okay.
Asperger's, which...
What does this have to do with anything? He's interviewing someone who says they're my fan, who says they have low-level autism and thinks that I'm autistic. What does this have to do with anything? Right? Like, this is, like, the most superfluous part of the entire documentary, I think. Right now, this very moment. It's completely unverifiable what's going on right here. You don't know if this really is a fan or not. You know what I'm saying? I just... What is going on?
You know, back in high school, I was on a cocktail of medications. I mean, real talk, when I was in high school at one point, I was to the point where, like, I was losing it. I wanted to either go do something drastic or, you know, go nuts. There was a girl who I was, like, obsessed with for a while.
There are, however, endless examples of Phil turning fans into ex-fans. In the best case scenario, you get people like gamer Jay Lee, who was only a fan and mod of Phil for a period in the early 2010s. These people may comment or joke about Phil, but rarely take it beyond that.
Because I didn't want to basically cause drama, I suddenly just removed myself as a mod and left. And every once in a while, I'll take jabs at him whenever he does something wrong. Now, am I going to do the fucked up stuff that some detractor channels do? No.
Despite gamer Jay Lee being fairly unengaged, Phil would try to make gamer Jay Lee seem incredible.
About me on social media all the time, riffing on me, making fun of me, insulting me and my family, and he's regular in detractor circles and all that, and I'm like, so what happened?
Does my channel look like a detractor channel to you? I'm talking about Gears of War and Halo.
Optimally, this is as far as it would go.
No, again, I don't know who that is.
Intense people, like his fans, have disabilities, are socially inept, or are just lonely, will take their obsession and twist them against Phil.
Even when you denounce that and call him out on his bullshit, there's still a chance you'll get caught up in the crossfire. Because, you know, there's a lot of, you know, people like Mighty D and, stuff that are great, you know, detractor content creators that make great stuff like Snort Burnell.
Shout outs!
and so on and so forth. But then there's the mentally deranged ones, and I gotta say that they are mentally fucking disturbed. The way they will take this and twist it to try and basically do life ruination, even for people that denounce Phil. It's disturbing.
This is how you get people that swat him, dox his fans, DDoS his internet, mess with his internet as an alleged employee of Comcast, sleep with his sister-in-law, contact Phil's father to expose Phil, and totes doxing Phil's neighbors and anyone around him as an achievement. What's more, if Phil is several thousand miles away from his family, has long lost connection with friends, and that single only personal refuge is his wife, means his personality curtails around these people. And being in the middle of the vortex, as it is called, means that his words carry much weight from appreciation towards his fans or hate towards his enemies. This has been Phil's life for the past decade and has made him a dull knife. That's why the Side-Scroller's interview was catastrophic for Phil.
But I want to bring up, like, there's still jokes that are made that that don't necessarily, like, they don't fit today. And I want to play one for you really quick and just kind of get your reaction to this. Okay, so
this is not a racial joke in any way, shape, or form.
Someone who is destined to keep making the same mistakes, he never learns, right? So if there's already a track record history of him habitually lying for personal gain, he will probably continue to lie for personal gain forever. Correct? Like, there's been no actual effort to change.
Make this quick.
All right, boys, prepare the slave trade. We're selling her right off for profit.
Put the kid in the vehicle. Stay with her.
Right, she's too valuable to escape. She's worth lots of money.
Phil tried to...
It's a joke about child slavery in a slave trade. You may not even realize, and you can say it's a bad joke. It's not a racial joke whatsoever. Did you know that here in Washington State, human actual trafficking is huge? It's a huge problem here in this state.
grasp at anything to defend himself, stating that it was out of context, that the girl's race wasn't even a factor he considered when he made the joke,
That's
and
right.
that in today's standards, that joke is somewhat acceptable. None of Phil's rhetoric was convincing. In fact, his constant jumping to different, sometimes contradictory points were putting the host on offense.
There are times when maybe I'm like, man, I'd like to make a racial comment here or there. So, yeah, every once in a while. Yeah, to be honest, of course.
The $5,000, business expense thing has been talked about by your detractors quite a bit. They say, what could you possibly be spending $5,000 on? Look,
Expenses that a tax attorney wants to know you're spending every month? Geez, your mortgage, because if you work from home, I guess that's part of it. I don't know. Again, I'm not a tax guy, but it costs your... They're asking me to break down my business expenses live on stream. I can't do that. I don't have data in front of me.
Phil, you've been doing this for 17 years and you don't know what your business expenses are? You don't know what you get tax write-offs on and stuff? I mean, like...
No, I put all that information of all my expenditures into documents, spreadsheets, stuff. I send it off, and then my taxes get done by a tax professional who I pay thousands of dollars a year to do it, and they do it right.
Dishonesty. I hate dishonesty because I think that's little shit kind of behavior. That's like if you're a real coward, that's how you behave, to try to sneak stuff in behind someone's back and shit rather than saying it publicly to their face. I hate that. Oh God, that gets to me. It's worse than a pet peeve. That really pisses me off.
Specifically? No, I don't.
Phil was pleading ignorance. He pretended to act confused in what his business expenses are, when Phil clearly stated in the bankruptcy 341 meeting exactly what his business expenses are.
Yeah, and basically anything related to my internet content creation, including, like I said, cost of video games, cost of subscription-based services.
Right, I'm bringing down some of the stuff that's included, but I only broke down some of it there, right? I'm bringing down off the top of my head what I know is in there. By the way, I said some of that in the interview, did I not? Did I not say that? Maybe I didn't, and it was just me on the spot blowing it. But I don't see the point here whatsoever.
Microtransactions within video games.
Cost of internet.
Phil successfully convinced the host that he was unaware of what was categorized as business expense, and so the conversation moved on.
Do you currently still play WWE Champions?
Yes.
With Phil's admittance that he still plays WWE Champions, but not as the Down the Raptors account everyone claims he is, the conversation then moved to the bank leaks, which is something Phil had always skirted.
According to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many over hundreds of dollars that have been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
Usually I'm completely and utterly 100% dishonest.
Phil finally had a statement on the bank leaks. Here, he pivoted from stating that the bank leaks were not accurate, that they were related to the identity theft, then to that the bank leaks were not him at all and were entirely manufactured. None of Phil's statements throughout this entire interview were very convincing. But Craig quickly thought of a way to try to prove some of this.
Find this, but just confidentially, between us, will you send me a screenshot of your account?
To fully commit to sending a screenshot of his WWE Champions account, his internet cut out.
Let's circle back
I was
with you on
DDoS.
Phil. Phil, you still
I was DDoS attacked.
there? You look like you're frozen.
Did we lose him?
I hope not.
With Phil gone, even for just about 5 minutes, the offer to send the screenshots was off the table as he could have created or manufactured a fake account.
What? So wait a minute. I got DDoS attacked during the interview by the guy who worked at Comcast, and because that happened, which you could see I had nothing to do with it, I was just sitting there and it froze. Now the offer is off the table? That's actually not true. June got that wrong. He admitted today the offer was still on the table. That's false. Completely and utterly false. The offer was still on the table by that man by the end of the interview, and he confirmed it today in my interview with him. So that is false information. June got that wrong. Okay?
So if it came out true that Phil was, addicted to that one app, because I don't know if it is, right? I'm trying to find, what's going on, and I can't find anyone saying anything solid. Pretty much, there's no solid evidence that proves anything, 100%. But if it did come out, would it not change anything for you?
I mean, I feel a bit hurt because he does often say, I'm low on money this month and all that.
So, but you'd still probably watch him, or just you'd be disappointed, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
And that's where Phil currently is. He is in a place of exchanging hate and admiration that to certain degrees are both undeserved. He rants for hours on end to deaf ears and exists to be mocked. He has what would be anyone else's dream job, but in his case, it's a nightmare. His donations are only decreasing as fans are rarely gained, and enemies are constantly swelling in ranks. Phil is touted for his survivability online when compared to other creators. But the truth is, he has made so many enemies of content creators, his channel was bound to statistically outlive some of them. He has made possibly over $1 million, yet has nothing to show for it, and is now uploading multi-hour-long videos daily for pennies. He has practically nothing.
For pennies? I don't work for pennies. I don't even know where you got that from.
Like, I'm making like $5 to $10 a night when I stream it, so I could be flipping burgers and making more.
Show for anything. There is only hate, contempt, and displeasure. And being that the only people that interact with him daily, sans his wife, are those utterly obsessed with his life, Phil will continue to curtail his personality around these people who do not represent a healthy reality, as he continues to hold on to what shred of his online career he can grasp.
Thank you. That was an anonymous $109 tip at the end, and it is official. With that tip, ladies and gentlemen, we have continued the King streak. Talk about a lying, dishonest piece of fucking shit. This guy is the absolute bottom of the barrel when it comes to content creation. He is the worst, lowest form of content creator. Should not be allowed on YouTube. Should not be allowed on the fucking internet. He's a blatant fucking liar. Okay? At the end of this thing, I'm so happy to say, even though the eternal downfall of Darksydephil documentary, for the most part, was pretty accurate, it's not anymore, and that's good. I just hope that I can maintain the positive. All right? I do. I really hope I can maintain the positive, keep it going, maintain, and have a good time with it. I am delusional. It's delusion. It's actual egotistical delusion. There's still this back here. And it's still in the back of my neck, the back of my head, the back of my mind, and it's always telling me it's WWE Champions time. I love it. I love it. Is a mobile game addict. Phil has indoctrinated children who send him money, blatantly milking for money. It's a money pit. It's gone, just gone like that. In an instant, fucking gone. I just care about money. That I just can't help it. I eBay. Contributions are mandatory, but I need your help. I am appealing directly to you. No decency, no respect, no common sense, no fucking maturity. Is the guy who just doesn't get reality.